Bethany, yeah, no, yes, I know, but shut up. I need your help. No, I'm trying to record a podcast because you're not here and I don't know how to push the buttons. You always push the buttons. What? No, you didn't tell me you were going to be gone. Yes, you did say you were going to Granny's. I remember that, but I didn't know that was this week. I know it's Christmas week. So, well, just stop. You're just okay, listen. I don't know how to record. What do I do? Yeah, I see the red button. I clicked on it. Now, how am I supposed to know if it's recording? What is a timeline? What do you mean? What's a Bethany? This is why would you even be at Granny's or who? It's Christmas. You should want to be with your boss and working on the. That's what Christmas is all about. Never mind. Okay. Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, so if I click on the red button, it'll start recording. Okay, I think I have it. Hang on. All right, here I go. In 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the Josh Mann Podcast, featuring director extraordinaire Josh Mann. Okay, I think I got it this time. Okay, all right. Hey, listeners, this is Josh Mann, director extraordinaire, and I am all by myself because my producer, Bethanie Shiplap, has decided to abandon me on Christmas. So I have to do a podcast all by myself. So it's just me speaking my mind, which honestly is probably going to be way more enjoyable. So this is going to be kind of a shorter episode, but I didn't want to miss a week because I know how much you guys depend on this and how much you look forward to it, getting to learn from me week after week. So I wanted to make sure we got something out. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to do just kind of a special episode. This is me sharing my New Year's resolution for the year 2022. First of all, before I tell you what my resolution is, let's just kind of come to understand what a resolution is. And the word resolution is actually another form of the word revolution. And the word revolution comes from I think it's a Greek word revolver, which essentially means to spin. And so a New Year's resolution is something that spins in hopes that it actually becomes true, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So if your resolution is to exercise more, or maybe you have a resolution to stop smoking, or maybe it's to stop sniffing markers or something, what you do is you just spin around over and over. You don't like it doesn't have to physically spin, but some people do. But you spin and make sure that you don't do those things. But we're going to talk about something where you spin, you revolve, you resolve until you do those things. So hopefully this makes sense to you. If not, I totally understand. Sometimes it's easy for me to speak over your heads, and that actually leads us to what my resolution is. So before I tell you my New Year's resolution, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory. You see, since I'm incredibly successful and incredibly smart, and I'm kind of famous, for all the movies that I've done, and just through this podcast, we have lots and lots of followers. But because of all that, people are easily intimidated by me, and because of that, they want to avoid me. And so my revolution this year is to change that so that people are more, they feel more comfortable with me, and it's going to require me to make some changes within myself. So I've got some spinning to do, because here's the thing. I like people. I like being around people. I'm drawn to people. Not all people. Some people are really terrible and stupid, but I mean, there's some people I can think of. half a dozen or so right off the top of my head who I'd like to know a little bit better. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not too intimidating to build relationships. So if I can make myself sound dumber, then maybe people won't be quite as intimidated by me. So if I'm no longer speaking over their heads and I'm speaking more at a dumb level, more on their level, then maybe they will feel less intimidated by my success and by my smarts and by my other stuff that intimidates them. So my New Year's resolution this year is to pretend to be dumber than I actually am. And I know that might sound a little weird or a little outside of the box, but remember, I am a genius. So it requires weird and outside the box to be a genius sometimes. So my faithful listeners out there, those of you who listen to me regularly, I do not want you to be nervous. I am not losing any of my smarts for real. You're still going to learn from me at a very high educated level, as always. But here's the thing. I'm not really dumber. I'm just pretending to be dumber. And in fact, pretending to be dumber is actually smarter because it connects me to more people. Do you see that? So you see how brilliant that is? If you pretend to be dumber than you actually are, you're actually smarter. So that's my New Year's resolution today. And I want to just encourage you to come up with your own and to spin until it becomes a reality. So this is the point where we normally do a sponsor. Again, Bethany does that. So I'll see what I can do. She said to check the email and see if there's anyone who has actually contacted us. Okay. Looks like we have a sponsor. And I will get to that just as soon as I figure. Today's episode of the Josh Mann Podcast is sponsored by South Bend Collections. This letter is for Mr. Joshua G. Mann. If you are not Mr. Joshua G. Mann, please do not read any further. Mr. Joshua G. Mann, this letter is to inform you that Hero Sporting Goods has placed your outstanding balance in collections with South Bend Collections Agency. You can verify South Bend's name, address, and authority to collect this balance by contacting Hero Sporting Goods Customer Service Department. The outstanding balance of $6,320.54 is due immediately upon receipt. I don't think this is a sponsor. This is something else. Okay, I'm going to see if I can cut that out because I'll have to have Bethany tell me how. But that wasn't a sponsorship. But if you would like to sponsor the Josh Mann Podcast, you can do that. And Bethany, why don't you? Bethany's not here. Josh, me. Why don't I? I'm going to tell you how to sponsor. We have a phone number. I don't remember what that is because I don't call myself. So, but you can email us. Oh, I do know the email address because it's really easy to remember. It's Josh Mann Genius, which is easier to remember because my name's Josh Mann and I am a genius. It's joshmangenius@gmail.com. And you can also contact us through our Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook and look for the Josh Mann Podcast, you can find us there and contact us that way as well. Okay, here we go. To my listeners, before I sign off and wrap up the year 2021 and we step into the new year of 2022, I actually have a glass of champagne here because I want to toast to a new year, a new you, and a new, just new stuff. So, okay, here, raise your glasses if you would with me at home. It doesn't matter if it's champagne or not. You could have milk. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here's to a new year of posterity and a year of, oh, shoot. Dadgummit! You've been listening to the Josh Mann Podcast, featuring Director Extraordinaire Josh Mann.